Okay, let us wait for other students to log on. Then I'll make a summary for everyone, especially for those who connected late. So let us wait. We are 8. Normally we are 15. We have 7 who need to be connected. Engineer, what is his name again? Mr. Clovis, Engineer Clovis, thank you so much for input. And who else? Okay, should we start? Or? Okay, let's start. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Entire screen. But it was. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm sure that you see my screen. So this chapter, let me do a recap for everyone, especially for those who log on late. So this chapter is about HSRP. What is the name again? First, normally it's FHRP. First hope. Let me check here. Let me come here. So this chapter is about first hope redundancy protocol. First hope redundancy protocol. What does it mean? Make sure if I have 2 routers, if one fails, the other one should take over. For people, we must not notify that ESCOM is off. We should be able to work. So the protocol, this one will help us to do the configuration for that. So we have many flavors. We have HSRP from Cisco. We have different. So, but we have the same. They fall under this one. So what does it mean? It means what? I have my company here, and they need to work. We all use internet. So normally by default, if we don't use the protocol, we go via R1. So because we go via R1, the default gateway on R1 is sent to everyone here. You see? So if R1 fails and I want R2 to take over, I need to come back on HPC down here, remove the default gateway for R1 and put the default gateway on all these PCs for them to start working. It's not automatic. We need to wait maybe 1 hour for all IT guys to come and change. It's a waste of time. So the solution is what? R1 and R2, we're going to combine them in one router called virtual router. Like we put R1 and R2 in one box. You see, we put R1 and R2 in one box. Then the IP address of that virtual box is sent to HPC. So meaning that all these PCs, they don't care about R1, R2, they do care about the box, virtual router. What's happening inside that, none of the problem, we need to work. So inside the box, if R1 fails, inside the box, R2 takes over. You see? R2 takes over. So now, there's takeover, one fails, the other takes over, and what. The system, the configuration to do all of these is called first hop redundancy protocol. We have an active router, the main one, and the other one that is waiting inside the box is called the standby router. See, the standby router. Now, how will you know standby router, active router? When we do our configuration, there is a section called priority. The highest priority by default, if you don't configure, it's there, it's 100 by default. Now, if you want to force a router to become the active router, You configure the priority to be the highest. You see, yeah, here you have 150, here you have 100. Automatically, the system knows that R1 is the active router. In case it fails, R2 takes over. But these species, we don't see R1, we don't see R2. They see only the box. And inside the box, it's where we talk about R1 and R2, but they don't see anything. It asks the network engineers we know about what is happening inside. Now, if R1 fails, R2 will take over to continue. The standby router will take over. Now, what if R1 is back and still want to become the active router, the big boss? It means in the configuration of R1, we need to add another line, preempt. It's what I show you here. So when you do our configuration, you go on R1 and R2. You go to the interface on R1, the interface facing the LAN. You go to that interface. You type standby version 2. Or you can see, if you want, you can type standby version ? You'll see. Then you add the latest one, version 2. Then on R1, you add standby 1, the ID of the group, of that group. When you combine R1 and R2 in one group, the ID, you add the IP address of a virtual router. You see. So this config step 1, step 2, step 3, you do the same thing on R1 and R2. You do exactly the same thing. What will change is this one, the priority. Because I want R1 to be the active router, the big boss, I add a higher priority. Then on router 2, standby 1, priority 100, and you keep it the standard, or you can make it below. Then the last comment here, if R1 was down, and now he's back and want to be the active router, you add this comment, standby 1, preempt. Who is angry there? You see. Yeah, so that's all for this chapter. It takes time to understand, and it's only to do the same thing many times. So guys, you said you want us to have our own session for CCNA. I'm still waiting. There is no rush, it's up to you. Then so how far are you? Please tell me, how far are you? Did all of you agree, or some people were not interested, or I don't know. So anyway, it's up to you guys, you decide. And by my side,
Mr. Max,
yes.
Sorry, Mr. Max. Yeah,
yes.
we did agree. We did agree. We're gonna get back to you from next week around Wednesday. So you're gonna book for us on the 25th of this month. So that's where we would love to have a session there.
The 25th, huh?
Yes.
Okay. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to ask Cape Town Center to ask if it's free. If they say yes, we're going to send us an invoice to be paid. We're going to send us an invoice because it's almost 2 weeks. We need to book 2 weeks in advance. You see, 15 and 10, you see. So if really you say the 25th and you did all agree, if they send me the invoice, I'll pay for the group the way I do every time. Then on the D-Day, all of you must give me my 1.8. Do we agree? Yes or no?
Yes. No, it's confirmed. It's confirmed. Okay, so I'm speaking on behalf of everyone, but I believe everyone is here. They know what we discussed. So we are going to have a session on the 25th of this month.
Okay. Then I'm going to ask, so at the end, I'm going to send the message for them to let us know if it's free. We must send you invoice. I'll keep you updated. So guys, this is normally the session for today. So I'm going to ask Engineer Clovis, what did you understand in all these things?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Clovis Kabamba.
Yes.
What I understand here is to make a way for to make virtually router to make two router 1 and router 3.
Yeah. Okay.
To make it virtually on one router. Yeah, is what I understand.
Okay. Thank you. So who else? Thank you very much. It's correct.
My name is Fabian. I'll try.
Yes, Fabian.
We on this session of tonight, what I understand is the protocol RSRP, which is a
Good.
whole. Yeah. So I understand that this is can you put it again?
Yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
HSRP, which is the priority. It's a protocol actually. Okay, so now this protocol is all about redundancy. That means we don't want any disruption in the network. Therefore,
yes, good.
We have one router, first router, and the second router, and we have a pieces. So to avoid this disruption, then we combine the two router in one, the two physical router in one virtual router. And
Very good.
the main purpose is to avoid the disruption. In case router 1 fails, automatically router 2 will pick up and be a standby router. Will pick up and the connection or network or internet still gonna be running with no disruption. So we now these pieces won't understand router 1 or router 2, but they will only focus and understand the virtual router because the two routers are being combined in router, virtual router actually, and there is a configuration to be done so that this protocol may be effective. That's from what I understand. And for us to know the main router, we are going to focus on the priority, the highest priority. Let's say we have 100 and we want to force one router to be a big boss, then we are going to assign, we're going to give that highest priority automatically. The system will understand that this is the big boss now, the main router. Yeah.
Very good. Excellent. Yeah, that's all about this chapter. Exactly the same thing. So you see here on top, router 1 and router 2, they are interconnected. They talk to each other so that if this one fails, the R is down, then I take over. See, these two are now linked in one virtual. We cannot see it now. It's virtual. But now, you see, this is the virtual router when you combine both. Then the IP address will be sent to HPC as a default gateway. We didn't assign router 1 default gateway R2, no. The virtual router will be. So that these guys, they see only the virtual router. And inside, what's happening inside is this. Yeah, so we'll have time to go through it again. And also the configuration. Yeah, you can read. Yeah, you can. I give it time to read.
Sorry, sir. While we're reading, don't you think a quick demo could have helped us? Maybe just on a router and to see how it works. How do we confirm that there is that bridge between R1 and R2?
Yeah, so for today, we need to understand the concept. Now, so if you want, on Tuesday, we'll do a demo. So on Tuesday, we're going to do a demo. When we do a demo, I don't need to explain much because you understand already. So we'll just need to go to the interfaces and combine. So for example, if you want, let me quickly in 5 minutes, I come here, I close this guy, save, yes. Oh, it's gone. Okay, let me quickly packet tracer. Because the main thing is to understand first. When you understand properly, now to configure it much easier. You see, it's much easier. So we'll go to these things. So let's wait for my packet tracer to show up. Okay, so let's say, for example, you have two routers. This one, not this guy. Yeah. I delete. I take another router. Can this one? Yeah. I switch off. I zoom in. Yeah, I switch off. I add a module. I power on again. This one was. Is it correct? Let me go to CLI. Okay, it's loading. I take another router. I add. I pull this on R1. The other one R2. Then I'm going to link them. This guy also. I open. I zoom in. I power off. I put a module. Power on again. I close. I go to R1. I tap no. Enable. Conft host name R1. I go to the other guy. Okay, still loading. No. Enable. You can stop me anytime you don't understand. Huh? You just unmute yourself, you tell us your name and host name R2. So R1 and R2 are there. I'm going to link both. I took a serial cable. So in real life, we take serial cable to interconnect routers. But for our labs, you can use a normal network cable. These are these two routers. Now, I'll use a switch. I bring a switch. I bring a switch. I bring some PCs. Let me go to the lab, how we made them this. Go to the labs, save, no, instructor. Go to labs. Sorry, I go to labs here. I go down to we're in chapter 9, HSP configuration. That's the way we did so that I won't miss. Let me check the way we did the lab here. I close this guy. Yeah, this is a bit complicated. This is a bit complicated. We're going to join. I'm trying to find the easiest way for us. Let me see. So now how it works here, because it means I need to add a third one. Let me check again. So I zoom in. This one is connected to one router. The other one is connected to another router, R2. Now, based on what we are using, let me come here. Just to make sure that it works properly. Huh? That's why I want to. Because the concept we understand, now the design. So the example I took it from here. Trace web server from PCA, trace web server from PCB. So here with the web server, PCA is here, PCB, okay. Observe when R3 is unavailable. Observe the network behavior. R1, we took R1, then we took R3. So we focus on R1 and R3. So R1 and R3. So we focus on these two. We did configure R1 as the big boss and R2 as. Yeah, if I do my design, it will take a bit of time. So let us meet again on Tuesday. We'll be starting with a demo of HSRP because I want to do the same config, but in a simple way. Because I need to put these two, then add a third router and a web page. Make sure that everything works nicely. Then we're going to combine these two. So I'll do step by step because here the design is done. It's fine, but I want to go step by step. So here you configure R1 as the active router. First thing first, PCA, PCB, we can access the web server, no problem. You configure R1 as the active router, R3 as the standby router. Now, we're going to put R1 down. So let's check together. If PCB, the web server is 209, let me come here, IP configuration. So you see here, we already put the IP addresses. So I need to explain all these. So for example, this default gateway comes from where? So it will take a bit of time. So what I'll do, I'll prepare this one for you. But anyway, we understand. So before I configure anything, PCA, PCB, we can go to internet. We can go to web server. Then what we'll be doing, we'll configure R1 as the active router. We'll configure R3 as the standby router. So everything will work nicely. Then we're going to shut down R1. See, this interface of R1, we're going to shut it down, or we remove that link between S1 and R1. It means R1 is down. Then we'll check if PCA and PCB could still work to go to internet. Normally they should be, because the main router is down. This one should take place. It should work. Then we're going to fix the link. And there is a configuration called show to check who is the big boss. Show H ? it doesn't show. It's not F. Show F. File flash. Nope. Let me show question mark. HSRP. We should see which one is what. Show standby. Is it this one? Show standby. No. Because we didn't configure yet R1. Because we need to go through all this config first. You see, configure HSRP, we need to group them in one. So we go to R1, exactly what I show you. You go to interface, we do all this config, but we'll do that on Tuesday. Let's go step by step. We put all this configuration, then R1 will be the big boss. If we add this one, it means when he's back, he'll be. We do the same thing on R3. Show standby, it is what we did now. You see here, at least if we tap show standby, you could see. Here we did tap show standby, it's blank because we didn't configure anything. We need to do the configuration. So when you add show standby, it will tell you, you see this router is the active router. You can see the priority 150. If you go to, because of the configuration, if you go on R3, it will show standby because the priority is less than 150. Then we also compare all these IP addresses and all of this stuff. So Thursday we'll do this one. And also, when we know how to do this one, see on R3, if you go to R3, you see, it shows standby. When you go to the priority, you see 100. And it will tell you, I'm not the active router, this is the active router. But the active router here is what? Is normally R1. You see here, even if R1 is the big boss, the active, it will tell you, I'm not the active router, the standby router is router 3. So all these IPs I need to explain to you so that you won't get confused. But at least if you understand the concept, it's fine. So when you tap show standby, it will show you that group 1. It means you did group R1 and R3. You see, if you do the configuration above here, it will show you that R1 is active, and you see virtual IP address. You see, and here also virtual IP address is the same. You see. So I'll do that on Tuesday. I'll make it simple. I'll explain each addresses for you to. Yeah. We can also tap show standby brief. Yeah, you could, so we'll do all these things. When you know this, there is another lab. 9 data center exploration. No, this one I don't think it's this one. I don't think so. Let me see data center exploration. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, this one I close it also. HSRP. I close this guy. Oh. Okay, let's wait. What's this opening? It's opening, it's taking time. Okay, so normally let us keep it short and simple. I'll send you the recordings and Student who still didn't do the CCNA1 exam, when are you going to do? The system will close, huh? You're almost end of July. You must do your exams, your chapter exams. Okay, this guy is taking forever. Anyway. Okay, any questions before we end for today? Any questions before we end for today? We have Engineer Ben Kangomba, Clovis Kabamba, Didier Ndibou, Didier Nsambo, Fabien, Molongoy, Salomo. I see Ruth Chibola, Trésor Ikoli, Vanessa Bito. Any questions? So if no question for now, on Tuesday when I do a demo, yeah, you could maybe ask some. You could maybe ask some questions. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for today. Yeah. If you go in the PDF I sent to you last time, you'll also see some explanation on all these things. Yeah. Thank you, guys. I wish you a very good weekend. Study well. Anytime you have questions, WhatsApp group is there. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.